help you, Miss Denker?
No, I'm just tidying her ladyship's papers. She'll be down in a minute.
I'll tell Mrs. Potter.
Oh, how very reassuring. The butler giving the cook an early warning.
What are you talking about?
No, I don't want to worry you.
Worry me with what?
Well, if you must know, there's going to be a shortening of the wages bill round here. But why burden ourselves? What can we do? Que sera, sera.
Are you trying to suggest, in your usual maladroit fashion, that our jobs are in peril?
Well, I hate to sound smug, Mr. Spratt, but I would suggest that her ladyship will always need to dress and undress.
Oh, while a butler is a luxury. Is that what you're saying?
My advice, Mr. Spratt, is to live for the moment. We none of us know what the future will bring. Oh, I've put your spectacles over there, my lady.
Oh, thank you, Denker. Spratt, I'll have dinner whenever it's ready. Would you tell Mrs. Potter?
I will, my lady. Although you could have rung for her yourself.
I beg your pardon?
I was just thinking aloud, my lady. I'm sorry. I was thinking aloud. I'm sorry to disturb your ladyship.
Yes, Spratt, what is it?
I just hope you will be kind enough to give me sufficient warning.
I'm sorry, what?
So I may find myself alternative employment before I am cast out.
Oh, Spratt, you've clearly had a bad dream and are confusing it with reality.
Your ladyship's humour is always a tonic, but it is a matter of some importance to me.
I'm sorry, if you were talking in Urdu, I couldn't understand you less.
Miss Denker has broken the news that the households here and at the Abbey are to be reduced.
Has she?
I do not see how you can manage without a cook, a housemaid, or Miss Denker, which leaves me as the only candidate for removal.
Well, I believe many people live without butlers, so I'm told.
Exactly. And all I ask is some warning when my time is up.
Yeah, well, leave this to me, Spratt. I will attend to it.
Ladyship.
Ah, Spratt, could we have some tea?
Ladyship.
It seemed a little chilly, my lady, so I've brought you a shawl.
Oh, you are a wonder, Denker.
Thank you.
I shall miss you.
Lady?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, forget I said that. After all, nothing is settled.
What's not settled?
I don't understand. I thought you told Spratt about the staff being cut back here and at the Abbey.
Well, I may have mentioned it.
Oh, well, as I said, nothing's decided.
But your ladyship couldn't manage without a maid.
Mrs. Crawley does, don't you?
Indeed I do. But I don't wish to upset poor Denker.
But Mrs. Crawley also manages without a butler, my lady.
That is true, but I don't think I could break with tradition to quite that degree. Shall we have some tea?
Your ladyship. Miss Denker. Don't worry, Miss Denker. I've got a copy of The Lady upstairs.
What is that?
A stamp to mark the British Empire exhibition, just been released. First commemorative stamp ever.
What's that great lion doing?
It's the Lion of Britain with the head of the king.
I think it's silly.
It's because you understand nothing. I'll go.
Who was that?
Who was what?
Whoever was outside.
Was nobody.
Very talkative for a nobody.
I meant he'd come to the wrong house.
Haven't we all?
Oh, Denker, I wonder if I might have something warm to drink before I go up.
Yes, certainly, my lady. How about a nice cup of hot chocolate?
Oh, just the thing. Thank you. Yes?
My lady, Mr. Spratt seems very preoccupied at the moment. I wondered if you knew what it was about.
Does this spring from a tender concern for his welfare?
Well, we all have to rub along together, don't we?
Yeah, well, it would be nice if we could.
I worry that perhaps one of his friends is in trouble.
Well, I know nothing of Spratt's friends. I know he has a great many relations who seem to get married and buried with numbing regularity, usually on very inconvenient dates.
Or perhaps it's one of them.
Well, why don't you ask him? While you're making my chocolate.
Yes, Milady. Of course. Who's that? Somebody at the back door.
Never mind. Mrs. Potter can answer it. It's probably a delivery.
At this time.
Mr. Willis, what brings you here?
Well, I'm sorry to call so late, but I've had an inquiry which concerns you.
I'm all ears.
Yeah, Mr. Spratt, do you know a Mr. Wally Stern?
Yes. He's my sister's son.
Who's been serving time in York Prison.
Is it absolutely necessary for Miss Denker to be present?
Killjoy.
Well, she'll be questioned next, so what's the point in asking her to leave?
Thank you, Sergeant.
I'm aware of the present situation of my unfortunate nephew.
Not the present situation, I'm afraid. Mr. Stern recently absconded from prison. He's currently on the run. Someone answering his description has been seen in this neighbourhood, and naturally, we wondered if he'd tried to make contact.
Not with me, Sergeant, no.
Miss Denker, can you add anything?
No,
Nothing that leads you to suppose a man was hanging around the house?
I'm afraid not, Sergeant. Perhaps the identification was a mistake. Is he very distinctive to look at?
Not very. Quite ordinary, in fact.
All right. Well, that would seem to be that. I'll say goodbye. Of course, if he tries to get in touch.
Oh, we'll be on to you in a moment.
I'm sorry, I don't know why he wanted to drag you into it.
What an interesting family you have, Mr. Spratt. Mine are quite dull by comparison.
I haven't seen him for years.
It's your sister I feel sorry for.
Well, she has done nothing to deserve it.
Of course not. I do have one question, though.
What's that?
After you put him up in the potting shed, did he get away safely?